Hey there, Angela Wolf here behind the scenes. I was like, is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Which live show are we on? Well, we are behind the scenes, which is super fun. How are you all? Did you see some of my photos from Austin last week? Oh my gosh, did we have a lot of fun? All the new Brother products came out, and if you didn't see what's out, you're going to get a little glimpse today because guess what? I have my good friend Courtney here from Allbrands. Not only are we going to talk about everything that came out new, her and I have so much fun doing this. We're going to talk about our big fun event at Houston Quilt Fest. I say our, it's really hers, but I'm invited, so I love it. So pop in, say hi, everyone. And I am live, so I can see all your comments. And let's bring up Courtney. Courtney, I'm so excited you're here.
Hi!
Oh my gosh, did we have fun last week or what?
It was so much fun. I was telling them, like, you don't understand, this is my Christmas. This is when I get to see my sewing friends. This is when I get to get some new goodies and machines. I literally took one home with me. I took a lot of them home with me, but it's always fun to hang out with brother. They're a good lot.
Oh my gosh. So, I was really impressed. I never know what's coming out until shortly before, and I did have a little preview. But, I never know in advance, like what's coming, like a year ahead or anything like that. So when they showed what you have there, the Celeste, the embroidery only, they have a sewing only. And I have to, full disclosure, because it's a live show, I am a Brother brand ambassador. But I have to say they knocked it out of the park with that because the price point is so good. And also the embroidery side, they didn't add Disney and some things that, make the machine cost a lot more. Right. But they filled it with the stuff that we love, like the matrix feature, the 9.5 by 14 hoop. That's what you have right in front of you there. In case
That's what I have right in front of me. So
Courtney's over there petting it.
I'm literally with the machine. So this is the hoop that it comes with, the giant. That's a big old hoop. That is a humongous hoop. And so whenever I saw that they were giving us a machine, like you said, they don't have Disney in this one, so that helps bring the price point down. But then they kept the big hoop. I was like, that's fantastic. It honestly was something in their lineup that they needed, that we had been asking for. And then they actually that's one of the great things about brothers. When we ask for things, we actually get them. So I really appreciate that. And of course you get the smaller hoop too. So it's not like you're just one and done. You get both options in there. So I really appreciate that they listened and they gave us that. And then matrix copy, which is one of my favorite features because I do a lot of patches and I don't want to have to do them individually. I can just fill up the whole gigantic hoop and be done with it. Or freestanding lace if you haven't done freestanding lace with the giant hoops. Fantastic.
That is a great idea with the freestanding lace. I was like, I never even thought about that. I'm actually working on some trim for a jacket for embroidery, and that matrix feature will make it so much faster to do these little flowers. Oh, yeah. I have to share this because you're going to laugh. So you're talking about hoops. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. So I was teaching Kati how to do a hula hoop. Do the hula with the Avenir. So you are going to crack up when you see this. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can. It's right here.
I love Kati. She's great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So here you go. Here I'm showing her how to hula hoop. And you can see I'm like crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Oh my God. And she's probably like, what in the world? But this is the thing we do. You can't give us a big giant hoop and not expect us to play with this thing. Like, come on.
Exactly. So, and then here, this is the other laugh of the day. The mannequins were a little bit, off looking.
Yeah, they were a little scary. They were a little scary.
This is Chris Talk's outfit on here, his cow pants and his bomber jacket. And the wig got a little bit messed up, as you can see here. So we kind of just dumped it on there. Oh my gosh. I've never laughed so hard at some of the things that happened in these studios.
I saw a picture of a dealer wearing it. I was like, things are getting wild at BEX. Okay. I was like, he stole the wig off the mannequin. Things are getting crazy.
There was. We talked him into it. We're like, would you just wear this for one of the photos?
It's just one of the photos. Just do it. He seemed like a good sport. He did it.
He did it. Well, before we go talk about all the new products, I know we have a lot of people here that follow both of us. I have been working with Allbrands since that was actually my first event I ever did.
Was it really? I didn't know that.
Yes. I mean, the big event. I was a fashion designer. I designed clothes. I've produced a ton of fashion shows for big events like the symphony and things like that. But this was the first home sewing show was with Allbrands. And I want to say that was 2010,
15?
maybe?
Yeah.
11, 12,
was that the
somewhere
300 one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was the first week I started working for Allbrands. We had an event with 300 people.
Yes.
What? We'll never do that again. That was a lot. We do smaller ones now, but that was so cool. I think we had for Project Runway, we had Ryan Anthony all there, if I'm remembering correctly. We had so many awesome people there at that event. I didn't know we were your first event. Now I feel honored. There we go.
Yeah, it was actually. I think it was before that. Before he showed up, so it might have even been a year before that. There was over 300 people, and you had multi needles everywhere. And oh my gosh, I think my favorite story about that though is the project I had. We had to add pressing, so there was a back wall of irons, and the power went out on that row. I remember you guys said, "Hey, Angela, go up there and entertain them for a few minutes until we get that fixed." So I went up and told my cooking stories, and which are, comical in themselves. And I remember hearing one lady said, "Oh, she's such an airhead." I'm like, "Hey, I'm not a comedian. I'm just trying to entertain you.
I'm trying to help you people. Help me help you." That's funny. No, honestly, I love your stories, and it's always great to hear them because you get yourself into some situations. So,
I do.
It's always fun. Always fun to hear them.
So we've had a lot of years of situations, you and I, and the Allbrands. So you know what? You are a big part of Allbrands, and you have come across with these live shows now. I mean, Courtney, you're everywhere, which I love that. But for anybody who has no idea, they've never met Allbrands, they've never met your family, why don't you give them just a little synopsis about Allbrands?
Absolutely. So Allbrands, we were founded in 1976 by my mother-in-law, Annette Douthat, and she loved the idea of education. She loved teaching. She loved sewing, and she was like, "Why don't I combine those two loves?" And so she opened a store, and she did tons of classes. And back then, it was tons of garment classes, so very much Angela Wolf. But it was tons of garment classes teaching people how to sew their own clothes and quilting and getting really into all the different things. And so it's been great to be a part of this family business. We always say we're family owned and operated since 1976. So me and my husband have taken on the reins, and we have had a blast. But one thing that my mother-in-law asked me at the beginning was, what do you know how to do? And I was like, "Oh, a little bit of sewing." She's like, "But what do you want to know how to do?" And I'm like, "I want to know everything." So she really was a fantastic resource of teaching me. Now I know how to quilt and sew and long arm and broider and applique, and it's so much fun. But we have the kids in it and everything, and we have 8 retail stores right now in Louisiana, Texas, and then our website allbrands.com, and we are having a blast.
I love that. I was just thinking, and I don't know if you knew this story. I know I told John Sr. this many years ago. When I was designing clothes, which I started my business in 94, right out of college, and I didn't even know the home sewing business even existed. My face was in my studio every day, sewing for customers, fitting customers for many, many years until I won a fashion design contest. But I bought one of my first, it was my first cover stitch machine from Allbrands on the website. I didn't know who you guys were. I just knew I was searching for a cover stitch that wasn't too crazy expensive, and that's where I bought it.
Yeah, we were one of the, if not the first people online way back when. We always tell the story of my husband went to my father-in-law when he was 12 years old. And he's like, "Dad, why aren't we on the internet?" And his dad goes, "What's the internet?" He was like, "Oh, I can make us a website." So at 12 years old, he made our website, and we were one of the first sewing, embroidery, quilting stores online. And we were shipping like crazy because a lot of people don't have someone nearby or a store nearby that they could purchase from. So the idea of you could just buy it online and have it shipped, like it seems so simple to us now because we ship everything. I ship socks today, guys. I shipped socks today. Okay. I don't have time to go to the store. So it was great just to have that resource back then. We still love our website. She's about to get a facelift. Okay, you go look at her now. She's about to get a facelift.
I actually didn't think I love your website. And the other thing that you have, not only, so you were a pioneer, definitely. Your husband was the pioneer on this internet. And, I think that through the years, the family has built a reputation for quality, for good service, for everything you do is always consistent. It's not like up and down. And I did a tour of all your stores.
Yeah.
I think I did it in 7 or 8 days, went through all of them. And I know. Yeah. I didn't realize that I'm not really good at geography. I didn't realize that each one was like maybe 2 to 3 hours apart, but I'll tell you,
they're so far apart.
First class, we had so much fun. The only problem is, Courtney, I don't particularly like bridges. And I got to the bridge in Texas from Louisiana, and it was about 5. Oh my gosh. Wolfpack, you're going to die laughing when you hear this, but it was getting a little bit dusk. I don't really like driving at night, but I hate bridges. I'm petrified of heights. So I get to the bottom and she's asking for my money at the toll. And I'm literally sweating. And I said to her, what other way can I go to get to Texas? She goes, honey, there's no other way. You need to go over that bridge. And there's all these cars behind me. Okay. And I said to her, I can't go over that bridge. She goes, honey, you're going to have to go to that bridge because there's no way you're going to turn around. And I said, okay, just pretend you're giving me change. And I just sat there and then people are beeping. I called Wynn. I was like, Wynn, I'm going to have a heart attack. I have to go over this bridge. Well, finally she says, you need to go. And thankfully I didn't get a ticket, but I think I went 100 miles an hour over that bridge.
Oh my gosh. I used to be nervous about them, but now I do it so often that I'm just like, well, I'm up here. Let's just keep going. I think
hopefully it helped me get over my fear. I hope so. But Barbara, at least it wasn't raining. You're right. That would have been it for me.
Yeah, I was heading back from Houston Quilt Festival one year, coming back, and it was raining. Everyone's asleep in the car. So it's tons of my coworkers. We're all caravanning together. And I'm like, oh no, we're in trouble. I'm driving. It's pouring raining. We're going over this bridge. Like, this is not going to end well. I'm like, I'm taking half of Allbrands with me at this moment. This is not going to end well. We were fine. I didn't wake them up, but it was not a fun time. But the stores, they're so spaced out. I want to say the furthest one would probably be San Antonio and Austin, are about 7 hours from where our main office in Baton Rouge. Which is where we have our warehouse and everything like that, and where I am located. But yeah, they keep buying them further and further out. So we just bought Austin, I want to say 8 months ago, which there's not a brother store, so I probably shouldn't talk about that one. I'm looking into it. But,
well, we love Barbara, and I know she's over there. Does she loving Austin?
Yeah. Yes, she's the manager of our Austin store now, and she's loving it out there. We miss her a lot. I just got to see her on a quick little weekend family trip, and she'll be at festival. So,
oh yay!
Yeah, you'll get to see her there. We love Barbara. She's awesome.
Well,
but she's actually the one that started the Allbrands show during the pandemic.
That's right. That's right. Barbara. She is so much fun. I remember when the pandemic started and she called and we were chatting and she's like, tell me how to do this. I'm like, okay, you can do this, Barbara. You can do this. And then she's like a superstar.
You were such a resource for so many people. And I don't think you get enough credit for that during the pandemic, a lot of people, we couldn't go in store for classes or anything like that. So it all went virtual. Well, who knows it better than Angela Wolf? And you shared your guidance, your information. You were very encouraging of people to, come online and join the community and have fun and share it with people that were, stuck at home at that time. So I don't feel like you get enough credit for that one. You were amazing.
Well, I think when people if you haven't never done a live show, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in front of all these people. It's like, you know what? People will love you unless you're like a real jerk up there. I mean, you really have to screw up. And if it's sewing,
Yeah. I have so many lights and cameras and stuff, and I didn't know what a Tim Mini was, and switchers and like, what is all of that? Which I feel like when I was at BX, I did have someone come up to me, another dealer, and they were like, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start sharing education. And I'm like, that's great. Do it. And they're like, well, what equipment? I'm like, your phone's got a pretty good camera. Just put your phone on you, just hit record and start doing it. And she was like, well, what do I say? And I'm like, I don't know. What are you thinking? Like, that's usually my problem, is whatever's happening up there is usually gonna, come out. But the biggest compliment I can give someone or I ever get is that I'm the same person that they see on camera is the person that they meet, because we are authentic and we're just having fun. And this is creative. So it's always great to share information, share how much we love doing this kind of thing.
Oh, I know. And you don't realize how many people you touch online. I'll get emails from somebody that says, you talked about this and it inspired this, or I was having a really bad day and you said a funny joke. You don't think about that. And so that's why we love our fans so much. We love them. And thank you all for being here, by the way.
Absolutely.
So speaking of fans, Courtney, we are thank you very much for the invitation to go to Houston Quilt Fest. I absolutely love this show, and I know a lot of people here have been there. Some have already marked it on their calendar because we let them know sooner than later. So we must talk about that before we even go into the rest of the new products. We got to talk about the best of the best event.
So Houston Quilt Festival is, as far as I'm aware right now, the biggest quilt show. There used to be one in Japan that didn't open up back up after the pandemic. So Houston Quilt Festival is the biggest quilt show. There are so many vendors, so much shopping and beautiful quilts to look at. And whenever I need to go take a break, I accidentally go down a different row coming back to the booths because I don't get to shop it. So we just accidentally detour. There's so many vendors. So Allbrands hosts the Brother booth. So we are there with all the Brother machines, and we bring in fantastic educators like Angela Wolf, because she does the master class for so many of the machines that it's like we have to have her there. And when I love their face whenever you're demoing and they're like, and how do I get education? And you're like, oh, the master class. And they're like, well, who does that? And she's like, I do it. You're going to learn from me, which they're already loving you from learning the machine from you at that moment, that they're like, okay, I love how she explains things. I feel like I can do it now that I know who it is. And it makes that personal aspect for it. So we are so excited. We're going to have her in the booth with the Avenir. We're going to have you doing main stage demos, because we do have a stage that we actually live stream. So if you can't come, which you should absolutely come, you can always watch that, because it's not every day that you get some of the industry best in a room together like this. So we do share it on that live stream, but I always recommend people to come. We're going to have Angela Wolf, Jerry Granata. He's a hoot. Cindy Hogan, Alexis Galloway. I'm going to feel really bad when I don't remember everybody's name, because we have so many people that come for this. It's awesome. So I'll be hanging out with Angela Wolf and Jerry Granata over by the Avenir, but they're going to be so many people there, so many great machines. We want you to come and ask your questions. This is the time you get to ask your questions in person. We can show you exactly what it is. Or if you're of course, in the market for new machines, I've heard they've got great deals and some of the best out there. I had to say
I love the fact that now, with the Celeste line, this really confirms it, that you have the Avenir. And I know many of you purchased the Avenir last year. That machine is brand new technology, brand new chassis, brand new everything. Yeah. And Courtney and I we're pretty excited about this, because Brother extended the warranty on that for people who already purchased it. Yeah. And people who are going to purchase it. But they extended the warranty for an extra year, just from Brother, parts and labor. And then I had to keep this quiet because I knew this was happening.
She didn't even tell me.
I did not tell you. And I also did not tell you about the master class. And I had some people saying, oh my gosh, you're going to add more to the master class? My class ends. And Brother's like, no, it's not. We're giving you another year. So there were so many cool things there that I absolutely love. So, but not everybody is in lineup or ready or can afford or all of the above for the Avenir, but they love embroidery, or they want to get started embroidery, or they've been watching all the fun stuff we do on Artspira. And how the machines talk to each other. So for Brother to come out with something that's totally reasonably priced, sewing or embroidery, you totally have the opportunity to jump in the embroidery game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I appreciated the fact that they didn't make the hoop smaller, because yes, it is less than a Slayer, which we can't say pricing, so you have to go to your local authorized brother. So I know I'm going to see the comments because I've been seeing them. They're like, she keeps saying it's good pricing, but what is it? I can't say. All right, it's not worth losing my dealership. But you have to go into your local Allbrands or local brother dealer. Go to Allbrands. I'm just kidding. But it's great. They give you bang for your buck. And I think that's kind of, if I could summarize the Celeste machine, it would be bang for your buck. Especially that sewing version, so good. The amount we were talking about this the other day, the amount of things they threw in that we had to purchase separately on other machines.
Yeah. Well, we were doing that on your live I don't remember if we were live or recording. So if you did not see the sewing only Celeste, it looks very similar to that, except it's not embroidery.
Ignore this part.
It comes with a huge table that attaches, so you have a big area to sew. But it came with more feet than my Avenir.
It was the move it foot. It comes with 5 different attachments for it, which is wild. I wish I had my Avenir. They took it for the event because I would have pulled it out and been like, this is how many. So you get that one. So they also gave you the couching attachment, the new zipper foot, which is fantastic. I was using it for piping. It's really great. And then it has that little hole in it, and I put ribbon through it, and I was sewing ribbon. It's almost like couching with ribbon. That was a lot of fun. That got a little addictive. But they give you so much in the box with that machine that I was like, wow. And the ISR, that is the only other machine, the Sewing Celeste, that is the only machine with the ISR other than the Avenir, which is insane that they went from there to there with the price point, and now you get the ISR. And they could have, and no one would have said anything. They could have just gave you like the closed toe foot, and everyone would have been happy because you have the ISR. But they didn't. They gave you the closed toe foot, they gave you the open foot, and they gave you the echoing foot, which I think that alone, I like, brother.
I'm coming up with a project because I have a jacket. I think it's still in the suitcase that I brought. Right, embroidered all the trim. What did you say, Courtney?
I said, of course you do. You're Angela Wolf. She's like, I have a jacket project. I'm like, yeah, and you have a jean project and you have a dress project, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So this has trim all the way across the front and down, and it's on tulle and free motion all through it. But now with the stitch regulator foot, you can do that. And it makes it really well. And also, going back to your embroidery machine, it has Wi-Fi. And by the way, I see somebody saying, well, this is not exactly an inexpensive machine. No, there's a ton of ranges. I was just saying this machine has all the features of a higher end machine. That's the difference. So that's the one thing. So for the sewing side, the stitch regulator, if anybody ever does free motion, well, my stitches never used to look good. They do now, because if you wanted a 3.0 stitch, it's going to be 3.0. So there's a lot to be learned about that. But also, whatever machine you have, what I would encourage though, if you're going to purchase a brother machine, check to make sure it has Wi-Fi. Yes. Because I see Jody saying, does the new embroidery machine have my designs on them? No, I have 2 collections now for the Avenir, but there's something coming down the pike this fall that I can't talk about. So just make sure that your machine has some Wi-Fi on it, that Artspira can talk to your machine. That's all I can tell you.
You can't tell us exactly. Which, put in the comments, have you ever used Artspira? Because I feel like I harp about it a ton, and some people are like, oh, I've never done it. And I'm like, guys, there's free designs on there. Now, there is the subscription version, Artspira Plus, but then there's the regular Artspira that is completely free. So you could go get tons of designs, and they're constantly adding more and more. They never delete them out. As soon as they told me that the Avenir had exclusive Angela Wolf designs, and I was like, okay, going on there. But there's so much that is constantly put on there. It's fantastic. I love it. So all of my embroidery machines have Wi-Fi. One, because I like to transfer things over there, but because that's how you use Artspira. Oh, Sharon said she loves Artspira. Yeah,
she does. And congratulations, Sharon, on your checkup. She's doing fabulous. Hey, so Artspira has a couple things. And yesterday we had Tina Bartlemay on the live show for Brother, and she, Courtney, I don't know if you saw this show. If you didn't, you might want to check it out. She was adding sublimation to faux leather. She was sublimating thread, like after it was embroidered, which I think you guys did. You guys do that?
Yeah, I've got it right here. Let's see. There it is. So that was this one. I don't know.
Okay, let me bring it up.
Yeah.
Tell them what that is.
Okay, so there on Art Spirit, there's a new thing called sublimation to embroidery, because sublimation only wants to adhere to certain types of material. So usually it only wants to go to a cotton, but if you want to put it on like a polyester bag like this is it the other way around? Switch it. It usually wants to go to polyester. If you have a cotton material, then it doesn't want to put on there. So how they get around that is they actually have in Art Spirit that you can bring in a design if you have Art Spirit Plus. If you don't have Art Spirit Plus, you can do it on regular Art Spirit, but you have to use their images. And so it'll actually give you the stitch out of just a white stitch out. How far away are those? Can I run to get them? Let's see. How far are they? I have the other one.
That's what I was looking for, my green jacket. Are we going to do like I Spy?
Wait,
you go get your green
jacket.
You get your.
I have them both. Okay. So it'll give you a stitch out that looks like this. And it's just white. So you would use a polyester thread because sublimation wants to adhere to polyester. So it'll give you the stitch out of the picture that you gave it, so around it. And then it gives you these little lines right here. So these little markings. So you know where to put your sublimation. So when you put your sublimation on there, it'll actually adhere, and then you can take out those little registration marks, and then it'll adhere on there. So now they've bridged the gap. You don't just have to buy sublimation approved materials. You can buy whatever and stitch it on there because we have polyester white thread. Now, usually they say white because then that way your image shows up bright and pretty on it. But that was really cool. So again, for the not the free one, so for the free one, that you have to use their images. But if you have the subscription, you can bring in your own images and do them. And they also have a 30-day free trial. So if you just want to play with it, then you could actually go play with it and be able to create all of them. So very, very cool. I'm loving the sublimation. It's getting a little addictive, just a little bit.
It is. And, you know, I know a lot of people here that, I'm always talking about fashion and fashion design and sewing clothes, but I'm also making bags, and I'm also playing with some crafty things like stuff for the boat. And that sublimation, I don't have them here because they're already on the boat. I actually last year I made koozies. I took photos of everybody holding their fish and put them on the koozies, and then those wore out. So I made some new ones. So, I mean, just between all the things of the machines talking to each other, you got the scan and cut, you've got the sublimation, you've got the print moda. Now we have the multi-needle, the brand new 10 needle. We might as well talk about that, because while we're talking about sublimating on white thread, I can't think of a faster way to do that than with the 10 needle, right?
So the Tip 60 is a great machine. I love what they did with it because they really gave it features that someone who wants to start a business would use. So the extra locking down features. So say you have employees and you don't want them to go into a bunch of settings, change your settings, your preferences, you can lock that down with a password, which is fantastic. They added matrix copy to the 10 needle because I kept saying, guys, this is supposed to be one of your top line machine and it doesn't have one of the coolest features. And they were like, we hear you. Okay, fine. But also, again, with patches, think how easy if you're not switching out colors and you just can knock about a ton of them out. For someone who does that as a business, that's fantastic just to be able to streamline it, and just it's wonderful. So they added that. They added some really cool designs and fonts into that machine. So she's a little power horse. We love the 10 needle. And again, it's a gigantic 10 needle. So
I think, do you ever notice that your phone and your computer listens to you? Because we're talking about the 10 needle and you won't believe what just showed up in my email box. No. I'm not even kidding. So I just opened the email. Brother sent an email. Hey, check out the new 1060W. I think it's listening to me every time we talk about something online. I get a little notification. So be careful what you search for.
Right. All I do is talk about machines. So I'm good. It's just going to keep showing me more machines because that's all.
You're pretty safe. Okay. This part here, if you all haven't seen this. Now, not everybody is a multi-needle, wants to have a multi-needle. And in fact, you don't just have to do it for a business. I actually I have a 6 needle, a 10 needle. I use it for embroidering when I'm trying to embroider fast. I don't have the new one, but when I do get it, I'll tell you why it's going to be better is because the camera features fast. You can see your fingernails underneath there. I mean, it's live. You know exactly where, when I put Win an Angel on the hats, it's not going to be cockeyed like I did last time. It's right there, right?
Right. Yeah, the camera's great. I love that they still have the snowman, that we can angle things with that. That's, if you've never played with the snowman on the machines, they are so much fun. So right there, that picture you were just showing, that is the tubular frame, which is fantastic. It comes in the box with the machine now, which is different than the previous model. That actually comes in there. So if you're doing sleeves and pants and things like Angela Wolf, it now comes in the box, which is fantastic.
That's so for somebody who doesn't understand what that's even for. So you can see that tubular, and if you watch any of the videos, every Facebook Live that we showed, it just goes on super easy. And then you see how your hoop goes on. So that way you're embroidering, but you're not embroidering the bottom of your sleeve to it. Or if you're trying to get into a bag, the lining, you can slide it into little areas. So it's a really, really cool feature. And then also, I don't think this one comes in the box. Well, here's all the accessories. You can see them. This is what comes in the box. But an accessory that's on, if you already had a 10 needle, all of your accessories will work. But this is the one that is the game changer. That new hat frame, it's been out for a while.
Oh, yeah. Was it PRCF5? Is it sad that I know SKU numbers?
I was like, wow, you're really good.
I see it all day. It's great. I actually really like it. There was a previous model that was great, but this one really lets you get a lot lower on there, because not that someone wants a design on the top of their head, not that that one did, but this one lets you get a lot lower. So I actually really, really like it. So like you said, anything that worked on the 1055 can come over to the 1060. So any of your accessories, anything like that can come on over. But you know what I love about the 10 needle, and not enough people talk about it, in my opinion, is that is the only multi-needle that has the scanning frame. So wherever you could take like hand drawing or a picture. Okay, do a lot of people ask you, this is such a weird question. I get a lot of questions that people are like, hey, can you embroider this for my husband's business shirts? Or for like someone's business, can you put their logo? And I'm like, sure. Do you have the digitized design? And they're like, what's a digitized design? And so I'm like, do you have a picture? And they're like, yeah. Here's a picture of it. So I put that on the frame, and then I scan it into my machine. It digitizes it in-house. It's fantastic. But for like someone who's doing a lot of them or need to do a lot of shirts, I always do it on the multi-needle just for time's sake. But having that already built in, I don't have to go to an outside software if I don't want to, which I do love software, but I don't have to. I can just do it on there. And that is the only multi-needle that can do that, which no one ever talks about.
Yeah, and that is true. And also, if you have a cute outline, which you can do this on the Avenir too. I saw somebody saying, can I do this on the Stellaire? You don't have the scanning mat for the Stellaire, but you can take a photo with My Design Snap app. There's always a solution to whatever machine that you have, but I forgot that it had that. Speaking of software, Courtney, I've been playing with the software the last couple of days, and I am a software geek. So I love it. I love digitizing. I love playing around. The new software, I'm going to see if I can bring that up here because it came up yesterday. Yes. Did you go to that class?
I did, and I really liked it. And I think so I don't do a ton of software. It's on my bucket list to get into more. But I was kind of a little worried. I was like, am I going to go in this class and be so overwhelmed? But it was really user-friendly. And it's a Wilcom software. They teamed up with Brother. It's fantastic. They added additional features that normally, if you were buying Wilcom, you would have had to add them as like additional purchases. Brother has them. It's fantastic. So it's like photo stitch, reef stitching. Goodness, I can't remember the last one, but they're already in there ready to go. It's fantastic. So BE Embroidery Studio software. Love the name.
So at first I'm an Adobe girl. I love using Illustrator. Everything I do is usually on Adobe. So I was like, Corel Draw. I took that off my computer like 3 years ago, but I logged in though I'm not bad mouthing anybody, just so you all know. It comes with Corel Draw. So I downloaded the Corel Draw, and I don't know if it comes with it or if it was extra, whatever. I downloaded it. And guess what? It said, for all of you, they're like, it was listening to me. It said, for all of you that are Adobe Illustrator, we have an Adobe Illustrator side. I was like, yes. So I clicked on it. This is familiar to me. I love this. I love software, but I hate learning new software unless it has something really cool. So Corel Draw and Adobe Illustrator are very similar, but different. And so now it was a no-brainer. It was easy to do. So on here, I'm going to bring it up here so you guys can see. There's a couple things like she just mentioned, the hand stitch effect. I saw that. I mean, just think of the garments. Now, of course, I'm a garment and a bag person, but or even home deck, where you look at the embroidery you're shopping, and you're like, oh my gosh, that embroidery is gorgeous. It looks like somebody hand stitched it. And the price that you pay for that. Well, now you can digitize it yourself and have it on your own.
Right. I know. The first thing I want to do in there is to bring in pictures of my kiddos and make my mom a bag for Christmas. I feel like I need to go ahead and start on Christmas gifts now. I feel like I'm already running late on those, but like how precious all the grandkids, and like really make her a cute bag with their faces on them.
Yes.
Oh, so that would be that stitch right there.
The Reef photo stitch. I've never even paid attention to that before. I didn't even know that's what it was called. I'm curious, everybody watching here. First of all, if you're on if you're on Facebook, don't forget to hit the like button. I've lost my mouse. I'm trying to take this down. Okay. So if you're on Facebook, don't forget to hit like and follow. But if you're on YouTube, click subscribe. You'll never miss a live show. But I'm curious in the comments, do you enjoy digitizing? Have you ever digitized? Is it on your bucket list? Or you'd rather just buy a design and embroider? Which one do you fall under?
All of them. Little bit of all of them. But that Reef photo stitch is really neat because what it is, it's actually a line of stitching that's continuous. So it doesn't break off. So where it starts and where it's in, it's all one. So you could actually run your finger on the stitches and go all the way around like a maze, and it never crosses over itself. It is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Trust me.
That's almost like doing free motion or some type of quilting where you never go, except it would be perfect.
And it's like with your own photo. It's wild. I didn't realize how much that one would be interesting to me. They had samples where they had done them, and I was just sitting there fascinated, just running my finger over there, which you're not supposed to touch quilts. But I was like running my finger. I was like, this is so neat and mesmerizing. But it came out beautifully. It's really neat. Oh, Helen said all of the above.
All of the above. I love it because everybody's a little different. April said something to learn. Helen, I knew you'd say all of the above. I have a feeling she's going to be in line for that 10 needle. We will see her at Houston Quilt Fest too.
Come say hi.
You're not allowed to touch quilts and you're not allowed to touch garments. Ask me how I know, because I was at a museum in New York and I can't remember the designer. That's terrible. But the gowns were gorgeous. And I couldn't help it. I wasn't even thinking. And I looked, I had to look at the hem. It was the most perfect rolled hem, and it was all hand stitched. And so of course I touched the gown. I just had to look, and the alarms go off, and we talked them out of not kicking me out of the museum, but you can't take me anywhere.
No, the alarms went off. They probably took a picture of her. She's now on some billboard in the back room that's like, do not enter. No, I'm just kidding.
Do not let her in at all. There's the hand stitch effect that you were talking about.
What was it? The year before last? Maybe it was last year. Oh no, it was the year before last. Barbara convinces me at Houston Quilt Festival to go see the quilts. This is after Quilt Festival is closed for the day. Like, we're supposed to be getting our things and leaving. And so I'm on a live show with them, and I'm like, okay, we're going to leave. And Barbara's like, no, let's go look at the quilts. And I'm like, but it's closed. And she's like, no, come on. So I'm like, okay, she won't leave me astray. We go over there and we get stopped by the quilt police. And they're like, you cannot come in here. It is after hours. You guys cannot come. So we're like, oh, darn. So on the live chat, they're laughing hysterically. They're like, y'all just got in trouble by the quilt police. I didn't think that was real. I'm like, oh, no, they're watching these quilts because they're gorgeous. They don't want anything to happen to them. So there is security on these quilts.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I think it's Barbara. She got me in trouble, too. We're going to have to talk to her.
She's watching this like, what? Hey.
Barbara, we were taking photos, and we were in the section that said no photos, and yeah, we got in trouble, but we had a lot of fun.
Barbara. It's Barbara. I'm gonna tell her to
All
watch
right, let me
that.
see what else was on here. There was another cool feature on here. Oh, photo flash, photo stitch.
Oh yeah, that one was cool.
So you can take any photo or graphic from Corel Draw, which is what which it's like using Adobe, but I'll be using Corel now, and turn it into embroidery. There's a bit of a learning curve, for me, because I've not used this software. I've been using PE Design and PE 11, which I love. Once you learn it, I don't use everything about it, but I love it for what I do. And someone said, is this replacing PE 11? And I'm going to say no, because there's still things that PE 11 have. I was just talking to Cindy Hogan about this yesterday. There's still things that PE 11 has that this one doesn't have, and there's stuff that this one has. So I'm going to keep both.
Keep both. I mean, heaven forbid you have more tools in your arsenal, more things that you can use, which is funny that you say Cindy Hogan. I actually see her tomorrow. She's coming down. We're doing an event in our Lafayette location. And she's coming down. So she's been texting me. She's like, okay, I'm sealing up my suitcase. Is there anything else? I'm like, whatever samples you have. She has the best samples. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. She has the best samples. This morning I said, have a safe trip. I hope it's not too warm. Pam says, after taking classes for freestanding lace, she's going to buy it. I don't blame you, Pam. I don't blame you.
So I saw someone ask if Matrix Copy was on the Stellaire and the Celeste. It is on both of those. Yes.
Yes.
It is on the
Stellaire. Grazi, it's not on the Avenir, but they don't put everything on every machine. In fact, this is the first time with the Matrix feature that it's only been on the Stellaire. So now it's on the Celeste and the 10 needle. So
yeah, I was really surprised. I think it's because everyone was like, hey, I like this. Can we please have it on more machines? So they listen to us. If we harp on enough, they listen.
Yep. The Stellaire has the Matrix. Oh yeah. We love Cindy. We know. Yeah. Is the Brother software fairly friendly? Well, I literally just downloaded it yesterday and played around a little bit. There are a ton of tutorial videos, which I love. No, I did not do a masterclass for that. So ask me in like 2 weeks, because what I do is I will sit. This weekend's our last fishing tournament. So when we're not catching fish, I binge watch or binge listen or binge learn certain things. But lately, fishing's been so good, I haven't had time. So I have everything ready to watch and learn this weekend. And if not, Labor Day weekend, I have the whole weekend planned for learning. I don't, does that sound like fun? Maybe not, but it is.
That sounds like a great weekend. Are you kidding me? Which they do have, I think on there, it's Wilcom Academy that teaches you how to do them. So you do have a resource to be able to learn it. So it's not like they're throwing you off the deep end. You said I did a fishing joke for you. It's not like they throw you off the deep end, off the boat. They actually do have some great resources to be able to learn software. I've been playing with it for a little while. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Anyways, I've been playing with it for a little while, and I actually do like it. And again, I'm not crazy amazing at software, but I felt like it was user friendly enough that I could figure it out. I am one of those people that's like, click the button, then let's see what happens. So just take in a design that you don't really care what happens to it in that moment, and then just click around and see what happens to it when you're playing around with the different things. But like I said, they do have that access to Wilcom Academy to help.
Yeah, which is really nice. So also, your event that's coming up, I have to look for a photo that I have to share with everyone. It's not brother related, but while I was at the brother event, my phone because somebody, and I was not hacked. They did not hack my Facebook page. They just took one of my photos. I think that's called stealing, but they stole one of my photos, posted it on their own, and said it was a 46-pound fish. So I got to find the photo. And if you all see it, just know that I didn't approve this. And no, it wasn't a 56-pound fish. It was like a 25-pound fish. But I'll find that. But first you have to do, while I'm looking, I want you to tell them about this event that's coming up with Cindy coming, because everybody loves Cindy. So is this a multi-day event? Is it a one-day event? What is it, Courtney?
So we do these events called Allbrands Academy. And what they are is in our different locations, we'll actually split it up into different classrooms. We bring in awesome educators, and they're they're fantastic 2 days events where you go to different educators and different machines, and you get to learn different techniques because we love teaching. And I know everyone misses those outside events. They were wonderful and we miss them too. But this is our happy medium of doing these huge in-store events, and we do raffles and giveaways and grand prizes, and we make it this fun spectacles. We put you in sorority groups because you are coming back to school in this academy, and it is so much fun. So this weekend, which all of the ones that I'm about to are sold out. So make sure if you're not signed up for our email or following us on socials, that's where we announce them. I want to say the San Antonio one is sold out in a week because it is so much fun. And people that go to it before, they're like, oh, I'm going back. They want to make sure they're going. So we do it twice a year, usually around this time of the year if we do them, but we announce them a couple of months before. So make sure you sign up for any of those our email list, or follow us on any of our socials, Facebook, YouTube, all of that, to make sure that you get your spot. And we do them at tons of our different locations. Sometimes I'll do them I'm always going to do one in San Antonio both times in the year because that one, again, we get such a great crowd. But we'll do them in Baton Rouge. We'll do them in our Austin location, our Houston location, which we just moved. I don't know if you know that, Angela. We just moved to a new location in Houston. It's bigger, it's cleaner, it's not as cluttered, it's huge. So now we can do events in that location. So if you haven't made it out to our new Houston location, definitely do, because it is gorgeous. We love it.
I love that. So the other thing is Houston Quilt Fest, which we're talking about as well. You, and even your in-store events as well, but you always have great giveaways. You have fun inspiration. If you buy a machine, they ring bells. I mean, it's like we're having party central over there. And, you know, I want to point this out for your events and for Houston Quilt Fest. It's the best time. If you say, you know what, I'm thinking about getting another machine, I'd love to maybe dabble in embroidery. You can play on these machines from all different levels. Right. And maybe you don't want something as, you know, nice as the Celeste. Maybe you want to try something different, but you can play on the machines and feel like, okay, this is what I want. And I feel comfortable with this machine. This one's too overwhelming. You know, you'll know by playing on them. That's the best way.
Right. Yeah, and so that's why we bring in the different models, because the Avenir is fun. All the different machines are fun, but different people have different needs and, you know, want different things. So we even force you to do a PR class. And if you're like, oh, wait, a PR, we guide you through it. You do great. We do hands-on project, no team sewing. That might be controversial, but I don't like team sewing because I want to be the one that touches the buttons. So I remember what I did instead of just sitting there watching my partner do it. I want to be the one. So we don't do team sewing, which I just can't. I can't.
That is my first rule always. I know that sometimes on the multi-needles, there's events where there's been 2-3 people. I want one person to a machine because I know if I was there, I want to play. I don't want to watch you play. I want to play.
No, someone was telling me at one of the events, they were like, oh, I went somewhere else for an event. And they were like, they had 3 to a machine and you had to pick amongst yourself who was going to do it and who was going to go home with the project. And I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, you are all going to do it. You're all going to go home with the USB full of all the projects that you did. Like, I literally created an event that I would want to go to. So what would I actually want? I'm not team sewing. I don't play well with others, you know. I just don't.
I don't either. Oh, Nancy pointed this out. Yes, she uses My Design Center a lot. And when Brother came out with My Design Center, they've added so much to it since it came out. But you can do so much in like you were saying, scan in an image. I had my nieces draw me pictures. I scanned them in, turned it into embroidery. I mean, there's so much you can do in My Design Center.
Yep. I feel like not a people know all the amazing things. It's kind of like giving you this huge present and you don't even utilize the whole thing. But I feel like there's so much you can do. I'm still finding things that I can do. I was playing earlier, and I've been playing a lot with Trapunto, you know, where it's like knocked down in areas and fluffier and the other ones. Oh, hey, Reen. Oh, Reen's going to be in San Antonio with us at Allbrands Academy. Guys, when I tell you I bring in some really cool educators.
This is going to be good.
We love Reen. So Reen's going to be with us in San Antonio. That's probably why it sold out in a week, Reen. Thanks. So I had some people being like, can I get on the wait list? I'm like, yeah, get on the wait list. going to be fun. I split that store. It's a humongous store. San Antonio is our biggest store. I split it into 6 classrooms. So we actually have the classroom, and then I have 6 other classrooms that I split that store into. I kicked the manager out of her office. She was not thrilled with me. She's fine with it now. I kicked her out of her office. I was like, I need this thing for a classroom. So we really utilize that whole store, and it's just tons of people that have the same interest. How neat is that to come to events or to Houston Quilt Festival, and you're surrounded by the people who have the same hobby as you.
That is true. That is true. And San Antonio, I did an event there with you guys a couple of different times. And I have to say that town is so much fun doing the walk. You can walk everywhere. The great restaurants.
Yeah.
Here's Amanda. I'm having a blank.
No. Yeah. No. My Design Center is not on the Celeste. So if you want to get My Design Center, the next step up is the Stellaire. So I know I saw people being like, but what about the Stellaire? No, the Stellaire is still great. She's still wonderful. And she has My Design Center where the new Celeste does not have My Design Center.
And with the Stellaire, you still get access for free for 1 year to the masterclass that I put together for that. That shows you everything from setting up the machine to playing with My Design Center to using it with my scan and cut, all that fun stuff. So, okay, so here's your funny for the day. Was I holding the fish? I was holding the fish, and this photo just showed up on my Facebook as a memory. So this is how I posted it a long time ago. So here it is. Here you go. Yes, I am holding the fish. That is me. You can see my fingers in his mouth. And if you hold the fish out a little further, it looks bigger. It was still a big fish. It was like a 23 or 25 pound king salmon, right? But look at this. I'm going to keep my language clean. Look at this dude. Benny Alberti. We need to sit down and have a chat, buddy, because you can't just take my photo. It went viral. It says 46-pound salmon on Lake Michigan. Well, he got the Lake Michigan part right, but it's not 46. In fact, there's a song.
Don't give him kudos. He stole your photo.
Oh my gosh, he should have at least called it a 53-pounder to go with the song, but he didn't. So he puts 46. So people are writing below, Angela, is that seriously 46 pounds? I'm not even replying to this guy, but I'm telling you right now on my page, that is me holding the fish from about 10 years ago, and it's 25 pounds. And I love the hashtags he uses here. Bass fishing. Does that look like a bass? No, it doesn't. Fishing addict. Yeah, I qualify for that.
The internet is a weird place.
Oh my. So there is the photo. I'm actually wearing, am I wearing the World Sailfish? I'm wearing the 2007 Islamorada Sailfish Tournament hat. That tells you I keep my hats for a while, but that hat looks pretty new. So that's about when I actually caught this fish. So yes, I am really holding it. And if you look closely, I'm probably like there's slime hanging from the fish going all over. But anyway, if you see this photo online, yeah, it is me. I have no idea who this dude is, but whatever.
You can be the fishing queen. I don't go on boats. You'll never see Allbrands do a cruise, like a sewing cruise. No, I don't do boats. I know I'm probably alone in that. You know what we did the other day, and I haven't posted it, and I need to do it, is you saw that trend that was going around online. There were people holding things like how fishermen hold their fish after they catch it. And so I went in our Baton Rouge resale store, and I was getting fabric and notions and pretending I was them holding them in different ways. And I never posted it. I need to do that because we were cracking up because we found different pictures of people fishing, holding I should have put one of you. But we were holding like bolts of fabric like they were a fish. It was great.
You know what? When we're going to have to do another live show before Houston Quilt Fest. We're going to have to do that. Let's plan on it.
Let's do it. Absolutely. No, and honestly,
Courtney, this has been, go ahead.
No, I said, honestly, I always look forward to hanging out with you. It's always really nice chatting with you. I always tell her, and I'm sure she probably rolls her eyes internally, but I'm like, Angela, you don't understand. And I wish people understood that you are the same person on the camera that you are away. And that's not always the case with people. So it's really fantastic working with you and hanging out with you in this industry. You are fantastic. So we
have so much fun. So if you all saw at H&H, you know that Courtney and I walked around the whole show. I don't even know if I mentioned this, but her husband carried 2 phones. He had one for live and one so I could do a recording. We had so much fun. I had a few people, Courtney, say, I can't wait till next year when you guys do that. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just plan on it.
That was unplanned. She looked at me. She was like, you want to go around H&H? And I was like, let's go. All right, let's have some fun. But
Deborah said she loves your show. What day is your show on, or what days?
So I do 3 shows because I'm a masochist. And so we have our membership show for our YouTube where they pay additional, I think it's like $5 a month to get exclusive live shows with me at noon every Wednesday. I had to think about that. And then I do a Thursday show called the Allbrands Show at 3:30, and we are usually live unless I'm traveling. And then I do a show, which was my original show, called Allbrands After Hours. That is 6 o'clock every Saturday. Those are usually pre-recorded. I'm not live on those days because mom needs to go home. And that is my baby because I called it Allbrands After Hours because if the owner of Allbrands doesn't like something I said, well, sir, it was after hours. You can't blame me for that. So that's literally how that show got its name, because I told him, I was like, they wanted me to come on. I'd done a few guest spots on the Allbrands show back when Barbara did it and Callie and all of them. And everyone liked it. And I told him, I was like, I'd love to do a show, but I need to be me. I need to say what I want. I need to say what I don't like. And so they said, fine. They were like, is that one pre-recorded? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, good. So we can edit things. But because it's, I think that's why people like watching you, Angela, is because you're real and you give your opinions and your tips, and people appreciate that. And it's way more fun to watch someone who's laughs and jokes than someone who's super monotoned and they're teaching you things. And it might be great information, but I also want to be entertained.
It's really interesting you said that about your after hours show. The reason I started behind the scenes, which I started it in about 2007 or 2008, right when you could start to do live shows on Facebook. This is before StreamYard came out, it was before any of that. And I started it because I was the host of It's So Easy TV, but there's so many rules. Like you had to wear long sleeves. Your nails had to be like a certain, there were like a lot of restrictions that I didn't really, I loved doing the show, but nobody knew my personality at all. I mean, everyone's like, I love watching you. So I'm like, yeah, but like, I feel like you got to know who I am. And so that's why I started it. And and now my nails are red.
That same. Well, but I saw a thing that someone said whenever you're showing things on screen, red, it's kind of like a cursor that they can follow easier. It's a bright, guiding light. And so now that's stuck in my head. So anytime we have shows coming up, I do my nails red so they can follow me easier on the screen watching the little red. It sounds so weird, but I really saw someone say that. It's the wildest thing.
Even if it's not true, I still love red nails. So we're going to be like, hey, how's your nails?
Don't look when they get overgrown. I just got them done. So they're happy right now. But sometimes I'm like, guys, don't look close. I wish the camera was a little out of focus. Don't judge it too hard. I do 3 shows a week, which Angela, you do a ton. I feel like you're everywhere. I mean, you're such a resource for brother. So they asked me, they were like, Courtney, for Houston Quilt Festival, how can brother assist? How can we help? And I was like, Angela Wolf. And they were like, okay, what else? I'm like, Angela Wolf. And they're like, there's like multiple meetings. They're like, what else? And I'm like, you haven't, Angela Wolf. They're like, okay, you get Angela. Because that's the thing is that, one, it's fantastic to work with you, but the amount of knowledge you have in those machines, it's when I don't know something, I'm like, where's Angela? Angela, help. And you're always like, well, this is how you do it, or this has this. So you're a fantastic resource. I hope brother knows how lucky they are.
Oh, I love you, Courtney.
She did not tell me to say that, but I'll not say what's going on in my head.
I'm blushing. Thank you. When you do what you love, like I just said, I'm going to go binge watch for all of Labor Day weekend to learn how to use this software. When you do what you love, then you'll keep doing it. And when it doesn't become a love anymore, you don't want to do it. So, you just have to keep it even keel. And, I got to say, though, if it wasn't for the Wolfpack, all of the Allbrands fans that are here watching today, that's the whole reason I do it. I mean, otherwise I'd be sitting here by myself sewing, which that's fun too. But I have to tell you, we have got the best community. And then on the brother live shows, that's Tuesday and Thursdays at noon, the best community ever. It's funny how everyone, there's a whole group over on YouTube, there's a whole group on Facebook, and everyone kind of, some people go to both because they want to see all the comments. I mean, it's like hanging out with your friends, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
I know, which we just reached the other day. I think we're a little past it, 25,000 on YouTube, which we've only been doing that. I've only been consistently doing this for like 2 years. And so I was geeking out, which I know you've got way more because you've been doing this a fantastic amount of time. But it's so great because of those people. It's like 25,000 people want to hang out with me. Like, it's mind boggling. And we see the comments that are like, it's so much fun to watch you. And thank you for the education, because it's like, we're having fun, but we're also giving education, because if you've spent your hard-earned money on these machines, we want you to know how to use them and get your bang for your buck and enjoy them to the full extent. So the education queen with the master classes, of course, is Angela Wolf. So how amazing that not only do you do those, but you also do additional education. So you said Tuesdays and Thursdays on Brother?
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon on Brother. And it's always Brother educators are usually on Tuesday. Brother ambassadors are on Thursday. There's always fun projects. You're always learning machines. And, one thing I want to point out, someone had said, well, Brother always comes out with new machines. And then, I still have something older. Well, cars come out I still have a 2013 Acadia. I think it's a 15. I love it, but they come out with new cars every year. It's whatever you decide that you want to have. So the other thing is, if you want to go back and learn some things about a machine that maybe, let's see, when did we start the live shows? That would have been, I'm trying to think what machine. I know the Luminaire was out, and there was quite a few others. If you go on Brother Sews on their YouTube channel, click on the live button. You always have to click on the live button to see the replays. You can go back and watch a ton of videos about your machine. There's My Design Center tutorials, embroidery, and even if you don't have the exact same machine, the knowledge that some of these people are sharing about stabilizer, about embroidery, about sewing, I mean, you could binge watch for a really long time.
Well, that's how I learned, was a lot of just like, while I was doing something else, just putting on different things and just binge watching it and listening it. Back when I started with Scan and Cut, I think the only person that was really, there was other people, but one of them was Julie Fitzann-Balzer back in the day. Cindy does some great things. Cindy Hogan is fantastic. We keep talking about this. Cindy Hogan's fantastic. And so I learned a lot from her, and it was great resources, but I was like, man, I feel like we could do more. So we started the shows, and then there's so many more people now going to the sewing community, like Joanne Banco. If y'all haven't seen Joanne Banco, she is fantastic. But there's so many people out there that are great resources for education.
She's on here too.
We love Joanne Banco.
Hey, Joanne.
That woman knows everything. Like, she is a wealth of knowledge.
She had, and Joanne, you got to do this again. She used to have this foot of the month, and everybody loved that, to learn what the different feet are. So I'm hoping that she starts that again, because we all love that.
Do it for me and Angela, please, so we can learn the feet.
Yeah.
Just for us. That would be great. Fine. You can share it with everybody else, but mostly for us. That would be great.
Hey, Courtney, it's allbrands.com, correct?
Yes. Allbrands.com is our website.
I'm dropping this in the comments here, because I want to make sure I didn't put a link there. And also, while you were talking about subscribers, so Courtney, I'm going to definitely have to have a big party with you again, because I just realized someone said you hit your goal. I did hit my goal, didn't I? Here we go. 60,000 right there. That was my goal. I didn't even know it happened. So I was
Congratulations.
Finding Hey.
That's amazing. I think I looked yesterday and it said 60.
Well, I didn't even realize I haven't paid attention. But on this here, and this is the same thing for Allbrands. When you go, you want to watch the live show replays. Here's the YouTube. Click on live, and that's where all of the old videos are. You know Justin from Horn Cabinet. He was on last week, Courtney. He's great. So you can go through here. Same thing with Brother. They're my nieces. I made them dresses. But if you click on the live button, you can go by topic. And also, there's a ton of resources. Courtney, your Scan and Cut videos are so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
And you have a ton of those that you can go back and watch the replay.
2 years every week, and sometimes twice a week. The Scan and Cut ones are usually on that Saturday after hours, because when I try to do something else, they yell at me in the comments. I'm kidding. But I think that's probably what I'm most well. She's watching me from back there. I had to put her back there for a little bit, but it's probably most what I'm known for, because I feel like a lot of people have the different cutter machines and they're like, should I get a Silhouette? Should I get a Cricut? And I'm like, well, get a Scan and Cut. And they're like, well, what is that? And not enough people knew about it. And I'm like, there's so many things you can do. And now that they can talk to certain machines, I absolutely love them. So it kind of came out of necessity, because I don't like to use my hands for certain things like scissors. So it came out of a necessity, and now it's an obsession. So it's great. I love them.
That's perfect.
It works. Well, it's fantastic. And I get to hang out with machines all day. This is great.
I know, and I love your studio. So I kept you 9 minutes over. I'm so sorry, but I could sit with you for hours. So you all mark your calendar. So your event this week is it sold out? The one that's in Discord right now?
All of those sold out. You can still come and say hi. So I'm in Lafayette this weekend. I take a week off, and then I'm in San Antonio, and then we jump to Houston and Baton Rouge. But the event that isn't sold out, that you can absolutely come and see us, is Houston Quilt Festival. I have my postie with the dates because I cannot remember them. The 8th through the 12th. So I think the 8th is preview night, and then the 9th and the 12th are regular days that you can come. So we highly recommend you come out to Houston Quilt Festival. Come hang out with me and Angela, because we're fun, right, Angela? Like, they should just come hang out with us.
But we're going to have, there's great giveaways, there's great tutorials. And if you've never been there on stage, she has different tutorials like every 30 minutes. So you can learn about every single machine, and also hang out with some of your favorite educators, your favorite super sewing stars, whatever you want. Yeah, and I'm looking for it. Oh, I don't think it's here.
What is it?
I wanted it here. It's not here. I'll have to just show it. You know, the AI, our AI.
Oh, gosh. Cindy was talking about those in her class, in her Art Spirit class. She was like, guys, you don't understand how fun it is to play with Art Spirit AI. It is a hoot. So I had Margie in there with me. She was like, is she going to show the photos? Oh, no.
No, you know what? I took it away. I put it away. All I have here is something that I did on Print Moda. So these were embroidery designs from the first collection that I did for the Avenir. So I printed it on fabric to see what it would look like. So I've got a couple here that I'm going to play with and maybe attach to a bag. But my AI ones are in there. I wanted to frame them. They were so cool.
they were a lot of fun. There's so much to do in Art Spirit. I don't think people talk about it enough. And it's just fun to play. I think we were a bunch of grown-ups acting like children. We were cracking up so much because the AI was taking our pictures and turning them into like cartoon characters, but also turning us into other people. I think, Angela, you were a man for 2 seconds there. And it kept taking your necklace and turning it into different things.
I had a photo with me and the guys fishing, and they must have thought I was a guy too. And I had hair on my chest. I had a goatee. I had a belt and a wife beater T-shirt on. I was like, where the heck did you come up with that?
No, but what was it? It kept taking a couple of years off of us in photos, and we were all like, we're okay with that. Except Margie, it turned her a couple of years older. She was like, no. It was. Oh, goodness.
So fun. Well, I look forward to seeing
Houston Quilt Festival.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get together soon. I see some people asking if I want to learn about the Celeste. It's not on your website. You know, give Courtney a call. You can call Allbrands. They're very easy. They're great customer service. I had somebody yesterday asking me they couldn't find 2 additional feet for their digital dual foot that they have with their Avenir because the Celeste got them all. And I sent them links to your website. So they have everything on there. Check it out, allbrands.com. You can't miss it. And in the meantime, stay tuned for what's going to be happening at Houston Quilt Fest, because Courtney, we're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I need to send you that email today to be like, what samples are you bringing? Because she has the best samples in the world. And
I'm working on new ones.
She does great stage demos, and that's the thing about us is that we love. It's like, yes, they're awesome machines, but we want to make sure we focus on education. So we pay for a giant stage to be in the middle of our booth at the front, right by the. I just got a replacement, by the way. Woo! So we are on center aisle, right down the center aisle, right by the info booth. And we do that because we're like, yeah, we could just have the machines out. Or since we have all these amazing educators here, let's share the knowledge. And they go up there and they teach. And it's such a fantastic resource to have at festival. And we have seating there. So we're always like, come relax your feet and come learn something new. And so as soon as I get finished, because I need to finish it, the schedule for all the awesome education that we're going to do there at the main stage or at our stage in the Allbrands booth, I will absolutely put it out everywhere on social media so that way people can plan their days, because it is a lot of fun things to do at Quilt Festival. A lot of people tell me they fly in because when they come and buy something, they're like, do you guys ship if I buy it here? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, great, because I'm all the way from Illinois. I'm all the way from Hawaii. I met someone from Hawaii last year that they fly in because they realize how big this event is and they look forward to it every year. I saw Barbara Jones saying she's marked her calendar. She's going to be there. So it's a lot of fun and we look forward to it every year.
I love it. And also my friends from Brazil were there last year. It is definitely the International Quilt Fest. So stay tuned for more info on that. Courtney, I can't thank you enough for being on here with me today. I just love it. So glad we could kick off what's new on Brother and what's coming to Houston Quilt Fest. It's all a packed show. So thanks, Courtney. Say hi to the family, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.